Hey guys, this is Magic here, and it's time to talk about the hottest topic in MTG right now. Is Mark Rosewater the Zodiac Killer? Oh wait, hold on, I think I got my notes backwards. Is Frontier a complete load of crap that's not worth our time and an outright scam? I'm gonna say no to the scam thing, but holy crap is there a bunch of misinformation, especially on YouTube right now, about Frontier. I have no idea why people are getting so behind this format. They have nothing to do with it. They didn't start it. They just heard about it and said, yes, this format has to be a thing and anybody against it is clearly an idiot and I'm right and they're wrong and blah, 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 blah. It's honestly suspicious. It is really, really, really suspicious. People who would appear to not have a horse in this race at all, but are constantly under suspicion for completely kissing Wizards' ass, they are saying, oh yeah, Frontier, yeah, let's go, woohoo, it's a harmless format, there's nothing wrong with it, yay, let's all promote it, let's all talk about it. But worse yet, they're taking anybody who's against the format and saying, oh, there's no logical reason that they should be against it, people should do whatever they want, yay, freedom, America, woo! The format was created in Japan, by the way. Well, here's the video correcting all of the misinformation. First off, it's a matter of opinion if you say, hey, it should have started at Theros, should have started at M14, should have started at M13, should have started at M10. You know, whatever you think the starting point was, that's just an opinion. Like, you like the set, you like playing with it, you like the mechanics, whatever. What is not a matter of opinion is that including Tarkir was a mistake. They have themselves said on the website and every single documentation I can find about Frontier, they have said it's supposed to be a cheaper alternative than Modern. It is supposed to save money, it's supposed to let people use their decks longer, especially when they were recently built in Standard. It's a big money-saving, economical, ooh, better than Modern type of thing. And then they include fetch lands. Oops. That's just stupid. It's just absolutely stupid. Everybody's saying some BS about the card frame changing. They didn't change a damn thing on the card frame. Oh, they added a little foil stamp to the rares. Who gives a crap? That's not really changing the card frame, okay? They picked it for a very specific reason. That's the cards that they have, and that's the cards they want to get rid of. They picked a format right when Magic started to be just crap for selling singles. Wow, what a coincidence. So they're out to make money. Who cares? How does that affect me? Well, that's the complaint I've been getting on Twitter and in the comments section. I guess I'll break that down too. I personally find it shady that people are hoarding thousands and thousands and thousands of copies of really popular cards that would be hot in Frontier. They bought them all up, they're worthless, or they're stuck with them from originally not being able to sell them as singles, or they couldn't get rid of them early enough, like cards like Siege Rhino that actually were worth something and now aren't. Somehow they're stuck with them. Or the opposite, they just bought up the whole world's supply, and now they're pushing this ridiculous new format and saying, hey, everybody should play this because I want to make money. Well, good for them. They're just wise investors, right? I mean, yeah, it's kind of tricky. It's kind of sneaky, but I don't care. It's a wise business decision. That's what some people are saying. I personally find that shady as all hell. But here's like a reason that should actually affect you, okay? A ton of these cards are crossed over with Modern. If Frontier takes off, the recently printed fetch lands from Tarkir are going to go insane. Double, triple, quadruple the price. Easy. They're already starting to go a little bit insane. Now, without certain types of fetchable dual lands, they're not as powerful. It kind of puts them back down in the realm of the quick lands, the Scars of Mirrodin clones that were just printed. But maybe somebody's holding a ton of those. So if Frontier takes off, Standard will become more expensive, and Modern will become more expensive. So if you say, oh, I don't care for Frontier, I do find it a little shady, it doesn't affect me though, I just won't play it. No, it affects you, because it just made all of the formats you do play more expensive. Hell, it would make Commander more expensive. It makes everything more expensive. And people are making the mind-bendingly stupid assertion that, hey, now my cards are worth more. During the final parts of a Standard rotation, my cards are worth more. Yes, and they were also worth more when you had to buy them for money. If it went up to $15 instead of $10 because it's a hot Frontier card too, it's just like when people want a card for Modern that's in Standard. The price goes freaking mental. So you had to pay more for the card in the first place. Now you're probably saying, oh yeah, but I got it out of a box. It doesn't work that way. If the actual EV of a box is $175, people are going to open it until it isn't $175. But still, it seems like no matter what, to get your hands on certain singles, it's going to shift it higher. So that just means a box will be worth what a box is worth, which is usually realistically $110 to $120 return. But instead of a whole bunch of $5 cards and $10 cards kind of evening out, sort of like Kaladesh, not the best example, you'll get a couple $30 or $40 cards that everybody wants for Frontier and Modern and Standard. And then you get a bunch of $1 cards. So it doesn't really affect you opening it, it only affects you when you want to buy the singles. So the residual value at the tail end of Standard is completely offset by the fact that you had to pay more for the card in the first place. Now, yes, you do personally get to keep your decks and your cards longer if you want to play Frontier, but chances are you don't have all of those cards. You're still going to need to spend money, and Frontier would be driving up the cost of the cards you do still need. Now here's the other problem. No ban list. Now they haven't word for word promised there's never going to be a ban list, but who the hell even controls it? Is it Wizards? Can they take it over? Can they issue a ban list? Is it just going to be some guys? Is it going to be a committee? Is it like Commander? Nobody knows. All the website says is no ban list. Okay, that's like putting fat free on a box of theater candy, which, by the way, is what they do in America. Oh boy, fat free, it must be good for me. No, it's a pile of sugar, it's terrible for you. As Wilford Brimley says, it might not have fat, but it'll still give you the diabetes. And nobody wants the diabetes. Well, the no ban list is the no fat label, okay? It makes people say, oh, no ban list, cool. I had a Splinter Twin deck. I'm a selfish prick who likes to use nothing but net decks, and I only play the top tier, and I don't want people banning it because I spend my way to winning, because I'm a pay-to-win dick. I think you guys already know what I feel about net deckers. Don't really need to go down that particular branch of the logic at this point. But I'm just saying why it's misleading to other people, because they could issue a ban list if the format is dying, and without a ban list, it will die, so they will issue a ban list. So not only is it completely a lie, or if they're really going to stick to their guns and say no ban list, it's going to kill the format. It's only two things, and neither one of those go to a real positive location. But once again, you might be saying, okay, so the format will kill itself, it's a disaster, it's stupid, I just want to play it with my friends, I already have the cards, I'm spending nothing on it, or I have limitless money so I don't care what it costs, or I'm just going to ignore Frontier. So everything you said doesn't make sense. Yeah, it'll make Standard and Modern more expensive, I don't like that, okay, but whatever. Okay, here's why it affects you, Mr. Disinterested person who's going to try to ignore it. It does affect you because now all of a sudden, okay, people want to play Frontier for FNM because there are places that hold Modern FNM. I've heard of Commander FNM, that's crazy though, or Standard FNM. There's actually Draft FNM too. I freaking hate Draft. If my LGS started having Draft FNM, I would no longer show up. So your FNM is now Frontier. Guess what? You get to play Frontier and not show up. Lucky you. Or just your personal play group, the people you play casually with, the people from your school, your friends, whatever. Now they all play Frontier because they got sucked into it. Oops, now you have nobody to play with. And you're probably saying, who cares about the cost of Frontier? I'm not going to play it. I don't care what the cost is. I don't care if these cards go out of control. Maybe I'm holding one of them. Maybe I'll make some money off it. Yeah, that is true. It is possible. But Magic will die without new players because there are players who stop playing all the time. So here's what a new player sees. Commander, moderately expensive, depends how you build it. You could build it cheap if you wanted. It's kind of a casual format anyway, but to be competitive, you're talking $1,000 decks. Easy, easy, easy. Once again, depends what you want. If you want to do sapperlings and snakes or something, dirt cheap. But if you want one card of the best removal in white, the best removal in black, the best kill spell, the best board wipe, you're going to be dropping some serious money, and your only other option is to go with the second best. So Commander is pretty expensive, or at least it can be, if you don't want to run a second-rate deck. Same with Modern. You could run a second-rate deck for like $50 to $100. Having it be dual color at all, you're going to need to drop some serious cash on it. But with most of the decks around $1,000, oh my gosh, okay, that is not friendly to new players. They see that and they're like, oh cool, Modern, I might want to play that. How much does it cost? Oh, $800 for a good deck? Okay, screw you guys. I'm going to go play something else. Standard, what does that cost? Well, go back to Tarkir, still $1,000. Oh boy, what a fun game. I'll go play golf, it's literally cheaper. Throwing $1 bills onto a campfire all night and roasting food over it, still cheaper. Streaking at an NFL game, depending upon where you live, still cheaper. So you might find another hobby, weird though it may be. Well, even right now in Standard, you could choose to build a pretty top tier deck for around like 100. There are some out there. Well, not to mention there's some extremely competitive second-rate decks for like $20. Even just the most basic energy decks, those things are killer. So people are like, okay, I'm into that, but now you add Frontier. Oh, how much does a Frontier deck cost? $500. So you got one format I can't afford to play, another I can't afford to play, another I can't afford to play, and then standard. You know what? Screw this game. And like I said, the whole point of Frontier was to be cheaper and also to play without god-awful cards like Blood Moon and Path to Exile and anything with Phyrexian mana. You know, any of the top competitive decks, just any of the cards in them. So that was half the point, and the other half was to save money, to make it a cheaper format, and that is just not going to happen. That's not how this is going to work. So people will see that 3/4 of the popular formats are now way too expensive. They won't even bother with the game. Especially if they come in and, okay, here's the Commander players. Okay, those people are into Modern. You got this little handful who play Standard still, and then you've got the Frontier players. So there's nobody to play with at the cheap level. That would kill the game, okay? Then you have no more Magic to play because everybody left. Eventually it will die if they're not continuously attracting new people. You can't do that by adding another format that costs a freaking fortune. Oh, by the way, what's the number one thing wrong with Modern right now? It is stale, boring, repetitive, hasn't changed in like 5 years, and when it does change, like an Eldrazi deck comes out, people lose their damn minds and will not stop complaining about it. It is the most unchanging thing I've ever seen. It's so boring. I would rather eat a live porcupine than play with the same deck every single week for 5 years. Modern is a joke. It is a disaster of a format, and it's becoming less and less popular very recently. Even the pros themselves in interviews at the tournaments just take a crap all over Modern, saying what they wish was banned, saying they wish they didn't have to run their own deck, saying they're ashamed of running Affinity but they like to win, saying they hate the deck they're running but it wins and they already spent the money on it and can't afford another one. If even the top players themselves hate the format, it's time to fix it. Oh, I know, I've got an idea. Let's make another stale, solved, unchanging, no ban list format. It will fail. It will become Modern within a year. Nobody will be interested. That is the primary reason that Tiny Leaders died. I honestly don't know why people are saying you cannot compare this to Tiny Leaders. It is the exact same thing. It's a new format, no ban list, it's solvable, it's tiny and solvable. In fact, the card pool is even smaller. It has the exact same weaknesses. It's the next format that was invented after Tiny Leaders. It's the same thing. It's the exact same thing. People who make the same mistake twice in a row are idiots. The format will fail miserably, so don't jump in it. It's not a wise investment. It's not a wise use of your money. It's damaging to the other formats. It's unfriendly to new players. Whatever else I said in this video. There's like 100 different reasons not to play Frontier, not to promote it, to actively try to make it not be a thing. It is damaging the community, it's stupid, it's wrong, and what people actually want, what people are actually asking for, is a slightly longer rotating format. Nobody wants it to be stale, nobody wants their cards to be worth nothing when they cycle out of Standard. What do you do to fix both those problems? Those are the two major complaints. Extended, bring Extended back, simple as that. Extended is typically double the size of Standard, so when your deck goes out of Standard, you say, hey, I'll tweak it a little tiny bit and make it into an Extended deck. If something comes about like an Infect, an Affinity, one of those just obnoxious, overpowering decks that nobody can stand, within a little tiny bit of time, it will likely be cycled out because it will lose some cards that it needs. But it's so huge and it's so slow that you could build a deck and play with it for a year, 2 years, maybe 3 years. I mean, that could be pretty realistic. Like if you had a Devotion deck, you could probably play with that for 3 years and Extended, maybe even 4. I don't even remember if Extended is 4 years in duration. I don't think it is, but still, you get 3 out of it. That is what people want. Bring back Extended. In fact, they wouldn't even have to invent a new format. People just want something that they already killed off. It was a good idea when they invented Modern about 5.5 to 6 years ago because that's what people wanted. They wanted to keep their cards forever and keep their decks forever. But now the pool is so big, it's so stale, it's so boring, it's so repetitive, people want Extended back again. They're sick of Modern. They are done with Modern. It's so stupid. It's unbearable to watch. Nobody's watching the tournaments. Nobody even wants to go to the tournaments. Modern is a joke of a format, so to make a new version of Modern and just say we're cutting it off here and we're going to make an exact clone of Modern, boy, I hope the same thing doesn't happen twice. And by the way, the only thing keeping Modern alive, the ban list, we're ditching that because no reason. Well, there is a reason. They want to attract people to the format so they can make money and pump and dump it and then let it die, which is what's obviously going to happen. This is quite literally a pump and dump scam. They may not have been the original intention, it's not like a long play scam, but it's what's going to happen. If it's not the originators, if it's not the Japanese, distributors or whatever that are doing this, it's going to be somebody else. It's going to be some giant rich millionaire financier who likes to screw with prices. The people doing reserve list buyouts, they're going to attack Frontier and ruin it instantly. Absolutely instantly. They're probably already doing it. Hell, it's probably already done. Hell, they're probably the ones hiring people to keep sending me messages telling me to positively cover Frontier. I wouldn't be surprised if other YouTubers are getting paid to promote it. By the way, FYI guys, just in case that describes you, that's illegal under US law. You do have to disclose it. Remember CSGOLotto.com? Oops, somebody's going to jail over that one. And let me just touch on that for a second. There are people clearly, blatantly going on the forums, going on my Twitter feed, going in my comment section, sending me messages, sending Jeremy messages, sending everybody messages, artificially trying to promote this. Why? It's a voluntary format. It's not like they're trying to directly sell me something. Why are they so adamant about promoting it? There's this whole wave of almost like astroturfing, or they're trying to just trick people into covering it and saying it's a cool new format. It's all under the guise of, oh, let's all get together and make something and have fun, and this is going to be great, and it's a homegrown, grassroots, whatever. No, it's all a lie, okay? It's manufactured. These people are being paid or funded or motivated by someone, some group, somebody, somewhere. I have gotten an artificially high number of messages and contacts telling me to promote this. It is not normal. There is something shady going on. 100% chance. I'm not making this up. Ask anybody. So it really makes you wonder about the other YouTubers who are covering this. Are they lying shills being paid off, or are they just that stupid? I mean, it's really one of the two. Have they not thought about this? Have they not looked into it? Have they not thought about the consequences of it? Or are they covering the consequences of it and then brushing it all under the rug and telling you to play anyway for literally no reason at all other than yay, freedom, do what you want? I have a slightly different suggestion. Get out your pitchfork and actively try to kill this. Take a dump all over the format everywhere you can. Forums, comments, Reddit, I don't care. People love complaining on Reddit. That's what they do there. Actively try to kill Frontier. It is a disease in the MTG community, and it needs to go away as quickly as possible. Do not feed the scammers, do not feed the trolls, do not feed the stupid investors, the MTG finance people who are just looking to make money from you by you participating in this made-up format. Like I said, what people constantly want, I keep hearing the same thing, they want something like Extended. A little bit slower than Standard, a little bit better value for the Standard cards, but it changes over time. So start demanding that. Start playing. In fact, it is a format. You can look it up right now. What's legal in Extended? Technically, Extended isn't dead. Just start playing Extended with your friends. Start telling your local gaming store you want to play Extended, and start telling them at the same time you do not want anything to do with Frontier. It's obviously a scam. Something shady is going on here. And I have to say, finally, if you're like, oh, Frontier, cool, I like the cutoff, I have some cards from that, I want to play it with my friends. Oh, but I can't because Desolator told me not to. It's going to be a complete sin if I play Frontier with just my friends. No, that's not supporting it. That's not putting any money into it. That's not going on the internet and telling people to play it. I completely agree that you can do whatever the hell you want. You can play whatever you want. You can even make up your own format, which it turns out people do all the time, according to my last comment section. Hell, you could have a format called Black and Blue where you can only play Black and Blue decks. I don't care. Play whatever you want. Until it starts causing worldwide problems and card prices to fluctuate and money to go to the wrong people and gameplay starts to change and your local gaming store starts to change. Card availability starts to change. Okay, now it's time to take it seriously. What you personally do yourself, who cares? Nobody cares. Do whatever you want. But promoting this format worldwide to all your friends and everybody else and trying to promote it and make it be a thing, that's a whole different story. So that's my rant to correct all the complete BS out there about Frontier. It is evil. It does need to go away. It's not at all a paranoid conspiracy theory to say that it's damaging and it's all just rigged to make certain people money. It absolutely is. And it's also designed like complete and utter failure-prone crap if you still don't care about millionaires getting richer over it. It's all going to collapse, so why invest in it? I mean, unless you're like, yes, I want to play Frontier for exactly 1 year and then I'm okay with it dying. Okay. For everybody else who's actually logical about this and wants things to stay exactly as they are, except bring back Extended, congratulations, you're an actually intelligent, reasonable human being. And lastly, I will say steer very, very clear of anybody who thinks that Frontier can do no wrong and they're saying it and they're like, yes, everybody play it, everybody promote it. They obviously have ulterior motives. Let's just be honest at this point. They obviously have something to gain from it because there's so many red flags, so many negatives, so much suspicion around this. The math goes in one very, very, very clear direction, and the design of the format is complete garbage. We all know it. Anybody with a brain knows it. Anybody who's been playing Magic knows it. So if somebody's ignoring all of that and telling you, no, play Frontier, promote it, yes, something is going on. I don't know what. I'm not even going to bother to speculate on specifically what. It's probably one of a couple different things. But either way, that is not a respectable person. That's not somebody you should be getting your information from. I mean, are you one of those people who's like, yes, I must have won the Jamaican lottery every time you check your damn Gmail? Really? That's a good penny stock to invest in? Random, unsolicited email I never asked for or seemed interested in any way? I'd like to say nobody's that stupid, but clearly somebody is because it keeps sending them, which means some idiot's falling for it. So hopefully this video sheds some light on the reality of the situation because I am so sick of people just lying through their teeth and spreading misinformation for their own personal gain. This video contains all the information you need to know about Frontier. That is it. Can't wait for it to die, either a year later after people lose all their money and one person gains a bunch of money, or immediately, which would be my preference. Now I'm going to go play black and blue format, damn it. Just kidding, you guys know I'm going to go just record like 3 more videos. It's almost tax season, I need the damn money, let's be honest. Oh, maybe I should invest really heavily in Frontier. I'll see you guys next video.